for the fury of those who are oppressed.
Oppressed people's nation. I'm gonna live for the people.
Well, y'all, this Sister Brown. This is the last segment for this Saturday. But check this out. I only say the last for the best. We just talked about the lady that was pregnant and how they discriminated against her. But we about to talk about some real discrimination. Something that is a real touchy subject, but it exists. And I want to tell you something. My best friend was named Rodney Bohannon, and he had an alternative lifestyle. And I love Rodney with all my heart, and Rodney loved me. And I actually have to admit, being around Rodney, it let me know that the world is made up of all type of people, and everybody has their own right to be who they want to be. What's your name, young lady?
My name is Keeandra Steele, but I'm known around the Olive Garden as Key. I worked at the Olive Garden for about a year, almost 2. Anybody can tell you in Olive Garden that I was one of the best bussers. Not only the best bussers, but I was the only female busser in the Olive Garden. And I wasn't just a busser. I was a busser, I was a server, I was a host, I was this, I was that. I could do anything in that store. The whole thing started where I told that we were at the old store in Orange Place, and me and my cousin were going on a family trip down south. This was going to happen in May of 09. And we're telling them this February of 09. And we're supposed to be moving to the new store in April, if I'm not mistaken. So we told them, we gave them enough time to let them know, okay, we're going out of town such and such, we won't be back till such and such. They said, all right, that's fine, that's okay, we'll take care of it. We get to the new store. We reminded them again. So now it's becoming an issue. I don't know what's the problem, but now it's becoming an issue. We didn't let them know in enough time, but we did. So we went on a trip. Everything was cool. When I got back, I was still, like, even at the old store, I was working 5-6 days a week, back to back to back to back to back, going home, going to sleep for some few hours, waking up and doing the whole thing all over again. So I noticed something changed in the schedule to now I'm working 2 days a week. I work night shift. Now they got me on day shift. Day shift ain't, I was only working for 2 hours, and I live all the way in Euclid. So I'm driving 10-15 minutes all the way to Chagrin or Richmond and Harvard to come work for 2 hours and not even make $10. That ain't gas money for me to go back home. All right, I'm going to take my 2 days a week, and I'm going to be grateful because there's some people that don't have a job, period. So I'd rather take little something better than nothing any day. So I work my 2 days a week, and I work them damn good because it was nothing that these servers called my name for, and I did not jump on it and do. If any of these servers called my name, Key, can you help me with this? I'm dropping what I'm doing to go help y'all. I got fired. As a matter of fact, the way they fired me, I still feel a little uneasy about it. Because I'm going to tell you, I came into work one day, and I see Doug. Now, Doug is another busser. I'm like, why is he here at the same time I'm supposed to be here? So I go in the office. I said, Chuck, what, you know what I'm saying? What's Doug supposed to be here? I'm here. I didn't call off. My name is on my 1 day. It's right here. You know what I'm saying? That's all you're giving me anyway. How am I going to forget my schedule? I only got 1 day. It got so bad that they give me 1 day. I didn't even have to call and ask my schedule. I just be like, what day? Is it Monday or through Sunday? Which one is it? You didn't even have to tell me nothing else. So I talked to Chuck. He was like, well, as of right now, you're suspended. I'm like, what was you going to tell me? You knew I had to come in here at 8. Why didn't you call me and let me know that I was suspended?
What was you suspended for?
When you find out, let me know. Because I still don't know to this day. I still don't know. I haven't signed anything till this day. And I've been fired over almost 2 years. And I still don't know to this day. I don't know what I was suspended for. Because he still hasn't told me. I didn't sign no paperwork. He didn't show me any documents. He didn't even show me that he talked to somebody and told him that I was suspended. So you mean to tell me you waited till I got all the way to Chagrin from Euclid to tell me that I'm suspended? You already got somebody working for me. Okay, that's fine. That's cool. 2-3 days went by. Week went by. Haven't heard from nobody. 2 weeks then went by. And I ain't heard from nobody. So I took it upon myself. I'm like, okay, I'm about to go up there and see what the problem is. I ain't heard from y'all, so y'all about to come here for me. So I go up there. Mind you, I have my little sister with me because she just got out of school. She's sitting up at the bar top. Okay. So I asked Larry, I'm like, okay, well, what's the problem? Am I going to be put back on the schedule or what? Now, mind you, this is the host stand right here. Me and him is standing right here and it's guests, because it's crowded, and it's guests and it's workers behind the host stand. And you know you got nosy people, so they're not doing their job. They're paying attention to what we talking about. You understand what I'm saying? So I said, okay, am I going to be back on the schedule? I mean, what's the problem? He tells me, well, Key, as of right now, you're terminated. I'm like, terminated? I just got suspended. What I get suspended for? You understand? You know what I'm saying? He still haven't told me what I was suspended for. He didn't even tell me what I was fired for. I haven't signed anything to show that I was fired. Anything that said that I couldn't come back up there to eat because it's not in the handbook. I haven't signed anything. We haven't even talked about anything on why I was suspended or fired. So I'm like, well, you couldn't pull me in the back, Larry, to tell me that. You couldn't even pull me by the bathroom. At least I would have felt more private. He said, well, next time, don't bring nobody up here, point gesturing to my little sister. So like I told him, I said, look, don't make me gesture towards my little sister. Don't do that. Don't talk about anybody. She's not anybody. That's my little sister. I wouldn't gesture that like that to your child. Don't do that to my little sister. I really took that offensive because how his face was, and I know what he was trying to say. Don't bring, you know what I'm saying? You know that face. Like, you just be like, okay, don't do that. So I'm like, all right, you know what, Larry? All right, it's cool. I'm like, all right, fine, that's cool. I come up there January 12th, 2010, which I regret this day till now. This is one of the worst days of my life. Thus far, it was. Came up to the bar.
Man, I spoke to the managers. You know what I'm saying? I said, how you doing, Jonathan? How you doing, Danny? They both spoke back like it was no problem. So I proceeded on my way. So I'm sitting at the bar, and my cousin works up at the Olive Garden. And she had me call and check on her kids. So I called, and in the middle of me telling her what's going on with her kids, Jonathan Patterson, I'm pretty sure you heard that name enough, pulled her by her shirt and pulled her back. And he told her, if I catch you talking to her again, I will write you up and you'll be suspended. Now, my thing is, how you going to tell my cousin she can't talk to me? You understand? Like, you can't do that. Like, I'm calling to check on her kids. Anything could have happened. You know what I mean? So, my cousin's in the back crying now. So, you know that's touching the spot, that my cousin is back here crying. So, I asked Jonathan, I said, can one of y'all go get Jonathan? Let me talk to Jonathan. You know what I mean? Like, I need to talk to him. I need to just nip this in the bud now. Because if you have a problem with me being up here, I won't come up here because it's only Olive Garden. It ain't like it's a club. You understand what I'm saying? I can live without this. I don't eat it every day anyway. So he comes around. He tried to avoid me at first because, like, he seen me standing there. He kept saying, hold on, Key, hold on. I'm like, yeah, all right. So after a while, I'm like, all right, come on. I need to holler at you. Like, seriously. He comes around, and he said, what's the problem? I'm like, I was about to ask you the same thing. I'm like, is it a problem with me being up here? I'm like, Jonathan, you seen me when I came in the door. If you had a problem with me being up here, you could have said it. I would have left. It's no big deal. He was like, I don't have a problem with you being up here. What you need to do is go back up to the bar, and you and your friend need to finish your drink and leave my restaurant. So now it's becoming a little personal. You understand? So now I'm thinking like, okay. So I kind of almost snapped, but not really snapped yet. So it was like, your restaurant. I'm like, your name is on the outside of that building. You understand what I'm saying? I'm like, you're an employee just like I am. I'm like, but you're right, it's your restaurant. I'm going to go back to the bar. I'm like, I'm about to leave now. I kid you, not 5 minutes, not even 3.5 minutes later, the person behind the bar was like, oh my God. So I'm like, what? It's like, the police is here. I'm like, you serious? So I turned around and you just believe the police is here.
What police?
Bedford.
Where the restaurant?
Warrensville.
So which police was supposed to be there? Bedford?
Warrensville.
Oh, okay. So Bedford was there. In a sense, he called in a personal favor or something.
From his contact and his phone.
From his contact,
Because police officers come up there and he feeds them for free.
Okay.
So, can I say something?
Is that policy?
I was going to say that. That's not policy. Everybody is saying that's not. That wasn't.
Is that policy? Is that written in the handbook?
No, in the handbook. But remember I told you earlier, the manager got 2 other managers fired for that, though. She got 1 manager fired for giving away food.
Okay.
Yeah.
Keep going, Keith.
Okay, well, so I turn around and Bedford is there. Like, at first, I tried to ignore it. Like, they couldn't be here for me because I ain't did nothing. Because you would think, okay, first of all, why is Bedford there? And then you would think if I am guilty of doing something and I know I did it, why didn't I leave? Why would I go sit sit back up here and sit there like ain't nothing happened. So they come in, pat me on the shoulder. Excuse me, ma'am. So now you know I'm a female, regardless of how I dress, regardless of what my preference is. You know I'm a female because that's what you address me as. I said, yes. He said, Jonathan has something to tell you. Now, I'm going to stop right there real quick. Jonathan has something to tell you. So you just that friendly with this man that you know his name, you know, like basically like my friend got something to tell you. That's what it seemed like to me. You know what I'm saying? So he was like, Key, you can't come back up here. If you do, it'll be criminal trespassing. The next time, that is. So not including this time. So I'm like, no, you serious? So I looked at him like, are you serious? I looked at my friend like, I'm like, you couldn't tell me this without the police here? I could have left. It's never a big deal. I could have left. It's only Olive Garden. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, all right, man. I'm like, Wayne, come on, man. Pay for this. Let's go. So I'm grabbing my stuff and getting my stuff together. So the officer, I guess he's getting impatient or he just want to show off for his boyfriend. So he like, he said, let's go. So he like tapped me like this. So I'm like, hey, don't touch me. I'm like, all right, I'm about to get up. So mind you, the bar is sitting up as about as high as that, maybe even a little higher. And you know, I'm short, and the chair sit up high. So I'm kind of like leaning off the chair like this, because I'm about to get up and put my stuff on. He pulling out his money, counting his money, about to pay her. My friend, that is. So this man snatches the chair from up under me, and I kind of stumble back and almost hit my chin on the bar top. So now I'm looking like, all right, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what's the problem? You know what I'm saying? So he like, I said, let's go. I'm like, hold on, here I come. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to rush me up out here. I don't need no escort. Because now I'm getting pissed. Because now you're just taking it too far. You don't have to put your hands on me. So now he's like, I said, let's go. Like that. So I'm like, okay, man. So he snatched me up, snatched my coat up. So now I'm like, man, your arm grip is a little too tight on me. You need to loosen up. He told me he don't give a F. So I looked at him sideways, and I told him, well, I don't give a F either. Get off me. So I snatched away from him. I'm like, you're not about to put your hands on me, bruh. Flat out. So he tells me, he says, I'm not about to do this with this bitch. That's what he said. I heard him. So that's what, now I'm getting even more mad. So he take out his handcuffs, so I put my hands behind my back. I mean, I'm cooperating, so there's no reason why you should be belligerent with it, because I'm cooperating. You don't have to tell me to put my hands behind my back. As soon as I see you reach for the cuffs, I put my hands behind my back with no hesitation. He take me, he slapped the cuffs on me, he put them on as tight as he could. I couldn't even move my hands. The circulation in my hands was gone. By the time he took his handcuffs off of me, after me being in the car and driving from Warrensville to Bedford, my hands was blue. I kid you not. All right, I had bruises on my wrist. I kid you not. Okay. So we get to the door. He had me in the handcuffs. Now I'm looking at Danny because I'm just thinking, like, you couldn't prevent this.
Who is Danny? Tell my people, who is Danny?
Danny is another manager.
Okay.
That's in the midst of all this. The guy that was having sex with one of the coworkers. It probably still is.
Okay.
So I'm just looking at him like, you couldn't prevent this. You couldn't talk to your boy because you know this is unnecessary. I'm looking at my cousin crying. So it's all types of things going through my mind right now. I'm all types of mad. So he took me and he pushed me through the first door. Now the second door, you have to push the door, like the handle, the push.
Right.
You actually have to push that to open it. So he tried to push me through it, and it wouldn't open. So he pulled me back and pushed me harder through it. So he opened the door with me, with my upper body.
Okay.
So now I'm pissed. Now I went off. I don't care. I don't care. He was every name in the book. I was kicking. I was yelling. I was doing all of it. Because now it's brutality now. Because now you treat me like I'm a male. Regardless on what my preference is, I'm still a female. Regardless. So now I'm telling him, I'm like, man, you could just call my uncle, because my uncle is a police officer. I showed him my badge and everything. He's like, I don't give a fuck who your uncle is. I'm like, oh, my goodness, this man is about to, like, he really about to make me mad. So he was trying to put me in the car. I'm like, I'm not about to go in there right now, because I can't breathe, because I'm hyperventilating now. When I get mad a certain way, I start to hyperventilate, and I have panic attacks. So it's like I'm hyperventilating. You're trying to put me in this tight spot. So I told him, just wait, let me breathe first. So he took me and he kept telling me up against the car, telling me to shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Just like this. Pushing me up against the car. So my friend is telling them, like, man, you ain't got to do her like that. She a female. She a female. She was like, I don't care if she want to wear pants off her. So I'm going to treat her like the nigga that she want to be. So I'm like, okay, take the handcuffs off me then. to take your badge off, and then you can treat me like the male that I want to be, if that's what you want to do. So now it's like the other officer is being rude with my friend, and he's pushing me up against the car, telling me to shut the F up, So I just eventually calmed down because I already know where this was going, because I was going to have a panic attack, and I was trying to prevent that. So I get in the car, and he snatches me back out. So he was like, I need your ID. I'm like, my ID is in my wallet. He was like, well, take your wallet out. I'm like, and I cussed at him. I said, how you want me to take my wallet out when these handcuffs is on me? He was like, I said, you about to be a pain in my ass. I'm like, you're already one in mine. So he started to frisk me. He went all between my legs, went all down my legs, hit my back pockets with my acid, everything. Now, I know I'm not supposed to be frisked by no male. Like I said, my uncle's a police officer.
Right.
He knows. So he frisked me, he took my wallet out, and he took my ID and he tossed my wallet on the floor. So I asked him, like, are you going to get that? So then my friend was like, I got you. So he picked my wallet up. And he was like, you need to move back. Like, he was, like, getting belligerent with my friend now. So it's like, I'm like, all right, man. I'm like, look, just call my uncle or whatever the case may be. So he put me in the car. They did their little one, so they took me to Bedford. Now, mind you, I don't really know about the whole situation. So I didn't even know that Bedford wasn't supposed to come pick me up. I thought Warrensville was.
Mm-hmm.
So we get to Bedford, and when I first got there, my friend came and found out what they charged me with. They first charged me with disorderly. That's what they charged me with at first. They charged me with disorderly. So then they changed the charge later on that night when I was about to get released from disorderly to criminal trespassing, which was a felony at first. Is what they charged me with, a felony.
Right.
So my mom had to come bail me out, which was $150. So she bailed me out, had to go to court, back and forth to court. So that's more money than my mother is spending. Because remember, I don't have a job anymore. So that's more money my mother is spending. Then I had to go complete 8 classes of anger management, which is $15 a class, because I had to do 8 hours. So that, you add that up, yeah, that's the money. I had to do 8 classes. If I didn't complete my anger management classes, I would have been locked up. Yes. My first offense, mind you, took me 19 years to get something that I didn't even deserve. I was 19 at the time. I'll be 21.
They didn't offer you a diversion?
No.
Why?
Because he called from his personal context. That's why. He called him and said, can you please come up here and get her from over here. That's how they play. I used to be with the managers in the back, how they plot and to set you up for failure. That right there was a set up for failure. He didn't want her coming up here in the first place. He knew by him calling Warrensville or Highland, they can't do nothing. So what's the best thing? I'm gonna call Bedford and have her come up here and have her move. Just like she said, he didn't even give her a chance to do it. He like, come on, let's go. Now, you heard what Jonathan said. An officer that's in his correct jurisdiction gonna say, ma'am, what's the problem? What's the problem, ma'am? Come over here.
He didn't even try to let me. He didn't even let me talk. I tried to talk. He's just like, let's go. I'm like, you ain't even gonna hear my side of the story. I'm like, really? You're not gonna hear my side? So I just have no right to say anything. And then you just take me out here and you frisk me. Like that was the most uncomfortable thing I ever went through. Like that really, like,
they violated you. You know, no matter what your preference is, they violated you as a female. Period. Because, you know, because I'm going to tell you something. With my hair being cut short, I get approached a lot of times by women. Just because they say, hey, you look the part. But when it comes time for the police to search me and all that, and you done got my ID, I want you to treat me like I'm a woman and go get a woman cop. And what they should have did, even though he made that call, Bedford should have came with a woman.
Well, it should have came with Warren.
That should have came with
came, period.
It was a favor. So, you know, favors get done all the time.
Yeah,
but to be within your rights in doing a favor, you needed to have a female, because I know Jonathan called him saying, I'm having trouble with a female worker. They used to work here.
Mhm.
So pretty much, they just mad at you because of your lifestyle. Not because you were a good worker.
Yeah.
From what I'm hearing, and ain't nobody saying, no, she wasn't, ain't nobody saying. So you was a good worker just because of your preference. They got rid of you, and then they violated you.